Happy to be here. Ready for the ride.
Did, did you introduce Martin, or did you
Oh,
not get an
oh, oh,
introduction?
that's coming up.
Oh, okay, okay.
Have no fear. Here it comes right here. We're going to move into our module of the week where we bring in
Um,
Martin Anderson Klutz, a senior solutions engineer at Acquia and a maintainer of a number of modules of his own, to talk about our module of the week. Martin, what do you have for us this week?
Thanks, John. Would you like to try out and give feedback on a proposed overhaul to how Drupal's administration menu works? There's a module for that. It's called Navigation, and it's a project that was originally created way back in 2004, but the namespace was taken over earlier this year as a place to work on the proposed new navigation in the contrib space. There are no releases yet, so you would have to clone the repo into your custom modules folder, but it is very active in terms of development. In fact, when I checked earlier today, the most recent commit was just in the past day. There are currently 46 issues open, 14 of which are bugs. And according to Drupal.org, there is officially one site using it, but it's not really something you would want to use in production anyway. The list of maintainers includes a number of folks that a lot of our listeners will recognize, like Christina Chimilis, Sasha Eggenberger, Lori Escala, Mike Herschel, and many others. Now, at this point, the module really provides kind of a prototype view of what the experience should be, and that's really sort of the point of the project at this moment in time. It's worth noting that the latest release for the Gin admin theme also includes this new updated navigation as an experimental feature that can be turned on, but it's still best to leave feedback on the navigation project. The main idea of the change is that instead of having dropdowns that fly out for deeper level menu items, the navigation is in a sidebar with menu items that expand to reveal child items when clicked. Now, it's also worth pointing out that drop-down menus with multiple levels handled in flyouts are a known usability pain point and are often cited by usability industry experts like Jacob Nielsen as something to avoid. There are still some usability issues to be thought through with the approach that's being worked on in the navigation project. For example, there is no longer a way to reach the top page of a section or subsection because clicking on the link shows or hides the child items instead. Now, this navigation project and the changes that are sort of being worked on within it were part of some very active discussions at DrupalCon Europe last week. So I thought it would be good to talk about it this week in our podcast so that our listeners can add their voices to the discussion.
I will
This is actually
say,
what I printed on for Contrib Day was the navigation module as well. So
nice.
well, thank you for that those efforts. We appreciate the community.
don't thank
Appreciate.
me yet. My PR or my MR has been rejected so far, so I got to work on that.
Hey, listen, you tried. That's the first step. I will say when Martin brought this up, I was super excited because I watched the Dries note from Lille, and I will say it was wildly entertaining. I recommend everybody go out and watch it. But this was one of the improvements that he was talking about coming to Drupal, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome. It actually made me want to go, talking about personal projects and free time. It made me want to go update my my personal site to Drupal 10 with the I already have the Gin admin theme, but update the Gin admin theme just so I could try the new menu structure. So super interested and excited about that.
Some interesting history in the revision history there. It looks like the module was originally started by Jeremy Andrews, the CEO of Tag One Consulting, as like,
Oh,
I
really?
guess what became the menu system in core or something like that. That's
Wow.
neat.
Yeah, this might be one of the oldest namespaces that I've seen on Drupal.org. I mean, 2004,
Yeah.
that's almost 20 years, other than some core modules, like I'm sure Node or something, but I've never looked at those specific pages because they're all part of core now. Oh, fascinating.
I will say that because we're talking about it, it makes sense, but like navigation as a namespace is not very clear as to what it does for me, which I mean, it's hard. Module naming is hard. But
yeah, I mean, we couldn't call it admin toolbar, obviously, or admin menu, obviously.
they should have called it admin toolbar 2. That would have been way more. That would have been way
NG.
clearer.
Admin toolbar 2, the electric boogaloo. Yeah.
Choices.
Well, speaking of admin toolbar, there actually the BOF that I went to that was specifically about these navigation changes actually had a couple of the folks from the admin toolbar project there, and they seemed quite interested in sort of collaborating and making sure that the functionality provided by admin toolbar will work kind of seamlessly with some of these navigation changes. So great to see that collaboration is kind of already underway.
Well, it makes sense. How many times is the first? How many sites have you stood up where the first module you install is admin toolbar? I mean,
Always.
So having this ability in there out of the box just makes so much sense. It's like, when views went into core, it's just like, oh, of course, that was the first thing you installed, at that point. Now,
I mean, like, how often do you go to look for something in the navigation too, and you're like, which menu is that in, right? Like, now it's going to be like a lot easier for you to see kind of like what's going on there because it's all right on the screen as opposed to hidden in drop downs. So, yeah, I think overall this is positive. Yeah, I will say even the design of it and everything looks really interesting. So excited to see how that progresses over time. But as Martin said, you can go and kick the tires on it and provide feedback and do all those fun things right there in the contrib space. So,
or even do like Mark and be part of making it better.
Yes,
it's true.
And with every complaint you have, that is a contribution in the waiting, to quote Greggles.
And there you go. Well, Martin, as always, thank you for bringing us another very enlightening module of the week. All right, let's move into our primary topic. So